history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and cussed their teachers and took the Lord's name in vain and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken down tool house. There were 6 of them: Ralph, Emma Jean, Leroy, Claudine, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson school system like those South American fish that'll strip your bones clean. They went around town the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, whamming kids, so it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmen there. And Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother, Charlie. That's what he said when our Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church was. He said, "No herdmen." That made my teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But old Charlie told him the real truth. No herdmen.
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All that other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about church is that the Hermans aren't there. Ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets ya.
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast. And she's mean. And she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible. Wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I wasn't planning to go. You know how crowded it always is? They can use my seat. I'll just stay home and put on my bathrobe and relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
There's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick and tired of being Joseph all the time just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Away in a manger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or a bed sheet. Come on, let's go watch TV.
You know Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Miss Armstrong just likes to run things.
You're right, of course. She runs the pageant. She runs the potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anybody would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, maybe she can try to manage the hospital, because that's where she is. I saw George at the drugstore this morning, and she broke her leg today. She's going to be in traction for 2 weeks, and laid up until the first of the year.
The first of the year? Why, they'll have to cancel Christmas?
She's in charge of Christmas?
Well, she's in charge of the pageant. She's in charge of the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to run all those things?
Yes. Yes. And I'll do the church bazaar if you'll do the potluck supper. But I don't know what in the world we're going to do about the pageant. Unless... What about Grace?
And I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
About Grace? Hello? Grace.
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It was always the same old story, and the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Now, here is what I always do. I start with Mary, and I tell them we have to be very careful who we choose to play Mary, because after all, she was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yeah, that's how I explain that. And then I tell them about Joseph and how he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain that. Now, frankly, I don't spend much time on Joseph because we all know it's going to be Elmer Hopkins. And Elmer Hopkins knows all about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How can she talk on the phone if she's in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Beth, can you get the salt and pepper in the napkins? Thanks.
I explain about the wise men and the shepherds, how important they are. You know, I always tell them, there are no small parts, only small actors. Now, I also tell them the angel choir, you have to tell the angel choir not to stare at the audience. Oh, and don't let them wear earrings and, things like that. And tell them they cannot wear high heels, clunky shoes, and that kind of thing. Oh, Grace, I hope you don't have too many baby angels. They will be your biggest problem.
You are going to leave some for the rest of us, aren't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Herman stole my lunch again.
How can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
Now, to push the baby angels out on the stage. Otherwise, they're just going to get in each other's way, and then they get their wings all bent out of shape. Oh, you know what? Bob could do that. Oh, and while he's there, he could keep an eye on those shepherds. Oh, you need to tell the angel choir one more thing. They do not wear lipstick. They think just because they're in a play that they get
Helen, someone's at my door.
that they get to wear lipstick, and it looks terrible. It's ridiculous. No angel is going to be wearing lipstick. I cannot believe that they even tried to do that. But
Someone's at my door, Helen. I'll talk to you later. Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, can you give me some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
For heaven's sake, it's you.
It's very lonely at the table.
Well, I guess Helen is very lonely at the hospital.
As long as the telephones are working.
I'll bet she told you about no small parts, only small actors.
And to get someone to shove the baby angels on stage and make the shepherds shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
Oh, and Grace, you need to please remember, you have to be very careful about whose baby you get to play Jesus. You need to get a quiet one. Oh, you know what? Better yet, try to get 2 if you can. And that way, if one gets fussy, all you have to do is switch them out.
Attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was just stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think up problems. And there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, my mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
You give me back my lunch.
Sure, here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
And hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day. And you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind of dessert?
All kinds. Chocolate cake and candy bars and cookies and Twinkies and big wheels. We get refreshments all the time. All we want.
You're a liar.
And ice cream and donuts and
Who
cupcakes.
gives this to you?
The minister?
Why? Is he crazy?
No. I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh? That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant. Hey, what's a pageant?
It's a play.
Like on TV? What's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who is Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Come on, Beth. Charlie. You and David come. Now this won't take very long if you all settle down and get Mr. Bradley and Mr. Dan are going to help us get these set up so we can get started. Charlie, please help Dad get that set up.
What should I do?
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Thank you, Mr. Dan. All right, now this won't take very long if you all settle down. Today we're going to decide who'll play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. Of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always says. There are no small actors, no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to be in the front row of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think baby Jesus is more important.
I still think it means that the short kids have to be in the front though.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, you little angels, you need to remind your mothers to bring bed sheets. And wait a second, is everybody here? Beverly, would you just step out in the hall and see if anyone else is coming? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now, you little children, like I said, you need to remind your mothers that you'll need bed sheets. And people in the angel choir will need bed sheets too. And if you have any old bathrobes at home, now what's the matter? Well, make some room there for the Herdmans. Okay. What happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I did was just say, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
Well, will someone please remind Beverly about the rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. But of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely be here for every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick and we didn't even start yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, I want you to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and gentle and kind. And the girl who plays Mary should try to be that kind of person. Now, who would like to play that part?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right. Oh, well, I'll just make a list of volunteers for these parts, and then we'll all decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Did you raise your hand, Elmer?
No.
Okay, just raise your hands. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. And Emma Jean has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. And what other names can I put on my list? Beth, Maxine, Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary! Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys, but they don't have to be. We could.
I'll be a wise man.
Hey, me too! Sorry. Clay! You want to be a wise man? Raise your hand! What's a wise man?
Just raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds. There! Do we have some volunteers after all? Yes! Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just want to say that I can't be a shepherd. We're going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
David,
My mom doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
why not?
Well, I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd.
Well, I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them that Jesus is born.
And hits them.
Elmer, that's ridiculous, and I don't want to hear another word about it. From anybody, no shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's all for today, boys and girls, and you can go. But I expect to see all of you here at 6:30 on Wednesday. Alice, what's wrong with you? Why in the world did you raise your hand?
I don't know.
You don't know? But Alice, I expected you to
Rally, get Gladys off of me!
to volunteer. Don't you want to be married?
Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know. I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be Mary in this play. And if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, but I'm always Mary in the Christmas pageant. And she said, well, go ahead then. And next spring, when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far near your ear, no one can reach it. And you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear. No, she wouldn't do that. She would too. Hermits will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something and ruin the whole pageant. And it's all your mother's fault.
Jane, Evan McCarthy, come here, did you hear? What? Well, it must have been Grace's fault somehow. How else would the six of them end up in a Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Irma, this is Vera Slocum. I just heard that Emma Jean Herdman is going to play Mary in the play. And what's that? All six of them? Listen, I live next door to that bunch. And I would rather live next to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
But where did they come from? Emma Jean Herdman? What kind of child is that to be playing Mary, the mother of Jesus? Now, where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting having shut-ins. Well, I'm a shut-in. He wasn't visiting me.
I said,
What was the matter with Grace? Why don't you let them handle
she
the room at the door?
I'll tell you right now,
Don't
you
you
better nail down that church floor and hide the
feel
silver
so
and put them in a
responsible.
collection place
And I will
before
tell you
that
this,
bunch cleans
If
them
I had
out.
been in charge of things, this would have never have happened.
This never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Tell me, I'm on your side. The car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind just to do the best I could under the circumstances, but now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever, and I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and nobody else did, and I don't care
Good
what...
for you, Grace. The car's over there.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean...
You have to go.
Where are you, Imogen?
All right. The inn is back here off stage, and the shepherds come in and gather around the manger.
Where did all the shepherds come
What's
from
that
anyway?
It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus? Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why? To pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogen, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this Christmas pageant is about, so I better read it to you.
I don't believe that, do you? That she's never heard the Christmas story before?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is. And they've never been to church in their whole life. So your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant? She was pregnant.
All right, now, that's enough. We all know that Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not allowed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, they didn't know the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was wrong with Joseph not telling him? Her pregnant and everything. What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in the bureau drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it. He didn't like Gladys very much. Remember how he didn't like Gladys? It was real smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
It said in there she wrapped him in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly in big pieces of fabric to make them feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes. There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds, keeping watch over their flocks by night, and lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of...
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night, with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvel!
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The Mighty Marvo in Amazing Comics. Out of the Black Knight with horrible vengeance.
This is the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? In the Black Knight, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Now, when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east bearing gifts of gold and frankincense.
What's that?
And myrrh.
Hey, what's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare, those wise men?
They were kings, and they were sent.
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, then they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was the main king, and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My God, he just got born! They're gonna kill a baby!
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill the baby and he isn't even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And then he says, go get me that baby! And they say, all right, because he's king and all.
But then they'll die! Guess what? Then they go back and get Herod! Yeah.
I'm not gonna be Herod!
There is no Herod.
No! Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod.
They're gonna put one in and it's gonna be me! And I'll get killed!
Forget about Herod. There is no Herod.
And then I run off with the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys! You wipe out the innkeeper.
I can't! I'm an angel!
Well, I wouldn't just hang around outside in that barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I'd throw somebody out. I'd tell them, I've got this baby and it's in the middle of the winter, so either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I'd send the angel after him. She could just point her electric finger and turn him into a pile of ashes.
Yeah! Sarah! Hey, what's the name of this play? Well, she was weird enough to not say. Christmas Pageant. Claudine! That's a name! Well, that's what it is. I know a name! I call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
In Bethlehem? The Herdmans thought the Christmas play came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit anyway. Supposed to be Eugene Slocum. But Mrs. Slocum said there was no way she's going to let Imogene Herdman get her hands on her baby. So, we didn't have a baby Jesus. And that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch one up, even at the last rehearsal. Why do you keep writing?
It's like a diary.
No, it's not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal, too. When you shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time you go to the ladies' room, the whole air is blue and Imogene Herdman is sitting in her Mary costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down? What for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society and anyone else who wants to know what happened when the Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
All right, everybody, let's get quiet. Beth, would you and Alice come up here so we can get started? Now, this is our last rehearsal, and we're going to decide.
Hi, Grace. Hi, how are you? No. Hi. We're back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. Okay, we'll try not to bother you, though. Is this your dress rehearsal?
it's supposed to be. Edna, didn't I hear that your niece just had a baby a month or so ago, a little girl?
5 weeks.
I was wondering, how would it be if I were to give your niece a call and ask her if we could borrow?
No, sorry, no. I mean, I could lie. I could say she's sick or cranky or something like that, but the truth is she's happy and healthy and beautiful, and we want her to stay that way. No way. We're handing her over to Imogen. So sorry about that. Bye. Good rehearsal.
See you later.
Miss Bradley, you can have my little brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby, David.
He's not new. He's 4 years old. He's double jointed.
Well, I don't think
I'll get us a baby.
How can you do that?
Well, there's always 2 or 3 babies in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll get one of them.
Imogen, you can't just walk off with somebody's baby. I guess we'll just forget about a baby. We'll just use the doll.
Yeah, that's better anyway. A doll can't bite you.
And Imogen, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. I just got my ears pierced. If I don't keep something in them, they'll grow together.
They won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys.
She probably did it with an ice pick. I'll bet you Imogen's ears turn black and fall off.
Well, we'll just find something smaller. Now, is that what you're going to wear? Is that your costume? You're all supposed to be in your costumes today.
I can't find my halo. My wings got open. Beth has my robe. My mother doesn't have any plain white sheets. Can I wear a sheet with balloons on it? I haven't got any costume. I was never shepherd before. You have to wear your father's bathrobe. That's what I have to do. But my father doesn't have a bathrobe. What does he hang around the house in? His underwear.
All right, just pretend you're in your costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course.
Oh.
But first, we're just going to start with the entrances. So all of you go where you're supposed to be, and we'll start with the shepherds. Maxine, just read the last few words.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them.
Shazam! No, Gladys.
Out of the black night.
No. Go ahead, Maxine.
A multitude of the heavenly hosts.
Music, angels. Music, wise men.
I've got the baby here! Don't touch him! I named him Jesus!
No.